All right, people, welcome back to my weekly NFL picks. Week 5. My current record is 37 and 29 on the year with outright winners. Started doing the spreads last week and I went 10 and 6, so not bad. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch my the video before this where I go through my spreads. Now that I started picking spreads, I am pretty concerned that I'm gonna start doing better with my spreads than my actual winners. So we'll see. Maybe I'm just overthinking. But anyway, let's start with this Thursday night football game. Really, really bad primetime game. Like, what are you gonna make of this game? You have the Chicago Bears going to Washington and facing the Commanders. Now, I really like the Commanders. I think they're a decent team. Especially at home, I think they can pretty much compete with most of them, except obviously the Bills, who they got blown out by. And the Bears, it seems like they're tanking this year, but then again, last week it seemed like Justin Fields and DJ Moore, found chemistry together. So I think that chemistry is only going to get better, and I do think this Bears team is hungry for a win. This, like I said, this Commanders team is pretty good, pretty decent. I won't say good. They're decent, but my fear is that they're going to crumble against bad teams. I feel like Washington is gonna walk into this game already thinking that it's a dub, and they're just gonna let their guard down, and out of nowhere Chicago comes in and beats this team. So give me the Bears to win this game and cover the spread +6. Moving on to your Good Morning Sunday NFL match, you have your Jacksonville Jaguars, which, guys, let's just go ahead and relocate the Jaguars to UK. This is their second game in a row playing in the UK. But anyway, they're facing off against the Bills. Now, you can't say that the Jags do have an advantage because, like I said, they've been in the UK for a few weeks now, so they're already acclimated to the time zone. But listen, this Bills team is just on fire. They are on a roll. They got really hot, and my thought process is I'm not gonna fade them or pick against them until they give me a reason to. So I'm going to continue to roll with the Bills. I have them winning this game and covering that spread. Jaguars are nice. I think they're gonna keep it competitive early, but I think at the end of the day, Buffalo comes out with this win. All right, next game. Jaguars. Or sorry, not Jaguars. Giants at Dolphins. Man, oh man, oh man. So, obviously I have the Dolphins winning. It's a bounce back game. They're in Miami. This team is just too good to lose two in a row, especially against the Giants. However, I was tossing and turning, just absolutely conflicted about this spread because it is plus 11. 11 points. 11 points is a lot in the NFL. A lot. Rarely, very, very rarely do any teams cover a spread that large. Um, so, I ended up taking the Giants plus 11. In the NFL, every week is a new week. Both teams start at 0-0. I know the Giants just got embarrassed at home. And listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't see any redeeming qualities about this Giants team. O-line is trash. Defense can't stop anybody. Jones is flustered. No weapons. The coach doesn't want to be there. This sounds like the Giants are going to get blown out. However, I do think they're going to come into this game with the fire under their feet. And listen, this could be a situation where, the Dolphins are up by 17 with like a minute left, and the Giants score a garbage TD. So give me the Giants to cover the spread plus 11, but the Dolphins winning outright. Next game, Saints at Patriots. This is pretty easy for me. Most people are rolling with the Patriots this week just because, they lost last week. Bill Belichick, he's gonna come up with a scheme. He's gonna come up with a really good game plan and win this game. No, I don't think so. The Saints are just a lot more talented. I know Derek Carr is just playing like absolute garbage, which is so disappointing. Because I think if Derek Carr plays to his potential with the weapons this team has and the defense they have, they could just be so good. But no, it seems like ever since the Packers game, they've just not been themselves. But I do have the Saints here winning this game. Super low scoring game. To be honest with you, I could see this game finishing 10-3, 7-3, 13-10, some wonky score like that. But give me the Saints to win this game and cover the +1 spread. Next game, Ravens at Steelers. Another divisional game. Listen, the Steelers got embarrassed last week against the Texans. Ravens, they got the win last week, but that was, well, I guess Deshaun Watson really didn't make a difference. But it seems like the Ravens are getting better despite their injuries. But I do think this year for the Steelers is going to be a year where they, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, just alternate wins and losses. And I do think they're going to be an inconsistent team where, 1 week they're looking amazing, Super Bowl contenders, and the next week they're just not looking good at all. So for that reason, I have the Steelers winning here at home. I'm so surprised the spread is only +4. I would think the spread would be +2 or +1.5, something very, very, marginal like that. So this is easy. I really love the spread +4, and I do have the Steelers winning. Technically, it's an upset, but I have them winning this upset against the Ravens. Panthers at Lions, pretty easy for me. I think the Lions are going to assert their dominance against this Panthers team at home in the Dome. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Now, that spread is pretty big, -10. But I do have the Lions winning by exactly 10, so I guess I'll take a push there. But yeah, I mean, nothing to say about the Panthers. They're just gonna have a bad year. They just have no playmakers, and Bryce Young, it's a trial by fire, situation. So he's just gonna keep learning and getting better. But the Lions, I think they want to prove a point and blow out a team, and I think this is the perfect opportunity, perfect week to do so. Next game, Texans at Falcons. Texans are pretty nice. They've won 2 in a row. They beat the Steelers. But the Falcons, I think, are pretty similar to the Texans where they don't know who they are. And yes, the quarterback situation is vastly different. CJ Stroud is an actual good quarterback. Desmond Ridder is not. But both teams have talented weapons on offense, and both have pretty decent coaches. We'll see about the Texans coach. It's only his first year, but Arthur Smith has proven to be a competent coach. So I do have the Falcons winning this game and covering the spread -2. Next game, Titans at Colts. Yeah, I'm not moving my screen here. All right, Titans at Colts. Listen, the Titans have won their last 5 games against the Colts, home or away, doesn't matter. Give me the Titans here. It's obvious Vrabel has their number. Richardson, I do like him. I do think he's going to make this a very competitive and close game. But give me the Titans here -2. Bengals at Cardinals. So many people are on this Cincinnati, on this Bengals team to win and cover the -3 spread. Why? Because the Bengals are 1-3, and people are like, "Oh, they can't drop to 1-4." No, they're not going to drop. This is the game where they get back, back on track. No, they're not. The Bengals are going to have a bad year. And that's it. People just have to accept that. They got so lucky beating the Rams in that one game. So lucky. Give me the Cardinals here to upset and cover the spread +3. That's it. I know the Cardinals are trash, but I'm telling you, the Bengals are not going to have a good year. And I think this is a game where people finally realize that, and people finally understand that, yeah, this is a down year for them, and maybe we shouldn't, put them as favorites anymore. All right, Eagles at Rams. Now, this was also very conflicting for me as well. First and foremost, the Eagles they're just not looking the same. Yeah, they're winning games, they're beating teams, but they're just not looking dominant. Whereas the Rams are looking like a much better team. Their offense is flowing. Defense, it is what it is. But I do think the Rams have what it takes to stand up against this Eagles team this week. Now, I don't see them winning just because I think the Eagles are going to get lucky once again and come out with the win here. Maybe a last-second field goal, maybe a turnover on the last play, something like that. But the spread is only +4.5, and I really love that. So give me the Rams plus 4.5, and the Eagles winning this game. All right, last 4 games here. Chiefs at Vikings. Screw it. I'm taking the Vikings here to win this game and cover the spread in an upset. I feel like this is one of those games where the Chiefs, just drop an early game in the season. Last year it was the Colts. I guess you could say this year it was the Lions in week 1, but that was week 1. So yeah, give me the Vikings here. I think this is going to be a shootout, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think both offenses are just going to completely go off. And I just see the Vikings here, scoring more points at the end of the day and getting the. Honestly, they might get the ball back for the last possession, and that's probably the only reason they win this game. But I do have the Vikings winning. Next, Jets at Broncos. So many people are high on this Jets team this week, only because Zach Wilson seemed a tiny bit competent last week. No, I'm still not buying it. I don't care. I'm still fading Zach Wilson, and the Jets. Give me the Broncos here to win. That spread is so easy. -1.5. Are you kidding me? -1.5. Give me that all day, every day. All right, next game. Cowboys at 49ers. This is an interesting game because, yeah, it's a rematch of the divisional matchup last week. And on paper, the Niners should win. They're looking like the best team in the NFL. They have playmakers on both sides of the ball at every position. Brock Purdy seems perfect. Their coach is just drawing up schemes, unbeatable schemes. Whereas with the Cowboys, they lost against the Cardinals. They're iffy. They're iffy against good teams. But I do see these teams facing off against each other again in this year's playoffs. And there are just those times where two playoff teams, heavyweights, match up during the season and the underdog wins. So I do have the Cowboys winning this game in an upset. Hurts me to say because, like I said, I really want to pick the Niners here. They're at home. Just everything, my whole gut's telling me Niners. But I do have the Cowboys to, get their revenge. I have them getting their revenge this game. And I think that's okay because when they face off against each other in the playoffs this year, the Niners are going to win. So, everything is balanced. Last game, Packers at Raiders. The Raiders, man, it's hard to read this team because who knows what they're doing. I mean, you have star players like Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. And then Josh McDaniels, he still hasn't proven himself despite being the offensive coordinator of the Patriots for all those years. And the Packers, pretty similar. Like, they're just hard to read. Very inconsistent, very unpredictable. But, give me the coaching advantage here along with the quarterback advantage. I don't know who's playing for the Raiders, but give me the Packers to win this game, -1. All right, guys, those are my picks for Week 5. Picks are always in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye.